Hello, everybody. Faitine here. It is Saturday night. I just wanted to hop on here and speak to you. I'll give you a quick update on what's happening with C-9, the hate speech legislation, in light of the fact that tomorrow morning will be the last Sunday, it looks like, before this bill, the hate speech legislation, which will determine whether or not the sincerely held faith beliefs of Canadians like you and I are protected in the nation of Canada. And so you're going to want to make sure that you are up to date with the absolute latest information so that you can share it with your friends, family, and like-minded loved ones tomorrow morning. I just got off a couple hours ago, got off of a Zoom briefing call with Member of Parliament Andrew Lawton. The Honorable Stockwell Day hopped on with us as well. Our friends from ARPA Canada were there, and several other really, really sharp pencils in the political action space were all there with us. It was amazing. There were almost 500 people that hopped on this call last minute. Absolutely. It was just awesome to see the synergy. Nobody caring who gets the credit, but people just wanting to get the job done and understand what's happening right now. And so Member of Parliament Andrew Lawton did explain to us that it is looking like this bill is going to be voted on at some point this week, Friday, most likely, possibly sooner if they do some parliamentary maneuvers to speed it up. But Member of Parliament Andrew Lawton did say that it is looking like they are trying to get this through as quickly as possible, limiting debate both at the committee stage and on the floor of the House of Commons. So we can assume that if they're behaving this way in the House of Commons, that there's a very good chance that pressure will also be put on the Senate to pass it swiftly. And so what this means, bottom line, is this is the moment. This is not just the moment, this is the minute. We have somewhere between 4 to 6 days to be a voice on this issue. And the bottom line, this is going to come down to the outcry of Canadians like you and I who care. I want to say thank you so much to everybody who's already taken the time to make calls, to make many calls. There's some of you that have made hundreds of calls. There's some of you that have made no calls, and you can still get involved. I estimate there's probably been a few thousand Canadians that have been really on top of this, making calls, but there are so many more Canadians that are concerned about this and care about it. So this is a time not just to be concerned, but to be practically mobilized. And so I'm always asking this question. I don't know about you. I don't want to just blow air. I don't want to waste my time. I have a lot of things I can do in a day, but I do care about this moment. I understand that this time next week, this window, this moment is going to be gone and we won't get it back. History does show us that once a piece of legislation like this is passed, it can set off a trajectory of other legislative trends down the line. So this is truly a watershed moment, and the slippery slope reality is a thing. It has actually happened many times in our nation. There have been so many times when people have said to me, Faitine, this will never happen, or that will never happen. And you look back down the line a few years later, and the very thing that folks said would never happen happened. And so the nation goes to those who show up. We're getting smarter, we're getting wiser, we're moving together, and that's why we can make a difference. This time, just because we didn't see breakthroughs on other things doesn't mean we can't put our muscle into this one, because I'm seeing an engagement and a wisdom and a mobilization, honestly, that I've never seen before. And so this is a really, really good thing. Record number of phone calls have already been made, but we're not quite at the tipping point yet. So we got to keep going. So what I'm going to do here is I'm now going to add to the screen. This is a brand new website that has just been set up. It's a hub website that's just been set up for citizen action, which basically is a one-stop online spot for the next 6 days in Canada as it relates to this issue of C-9 and whether or not our sincerely held faith views will be protected, whether or not the Bible could be criminalized. So I just wanted to let you guys know about this, because I know many of you are probably at Saturday nights. You can print off some flyers tonight. You can, be that person that swings by Staples in the next hour here and just prints off some of these flyers and gives them to your friends and like-minded loved ones tomorrow. So let me show you what's here on this site. Number one, the most important thing, the most important action point in the next 4 days is making phone calls. There's nothing that will impact our leaders more and convince them more that this could be a major political liability to them if they ram it through. There's nothing that will impact them more than direct personal context, direct phone calls and direct one-on-ones. If you can have a one-on-one with your member of parliament, but the way you can cover the most ground is actually to do phone calls. So I'm encouraging, I think this is a great idea, every single Canadian out there right now to commit, who cares about this issue, to commit to doing this, a minimum of 20 phone calls a day until the vote happens. Like I said, it is looking like the vote is most likely going to happen. I'm going to try to make myself smaller here so I can make this bigger. Oh, look at that. A minimum of 20 calls a day until the vote happens. It is looking like the vote will happen on Friday, but anything could happen. So 20 phone calls a day. If every single person that watches this video just did this one simple thing, it will take probably a half hour. You're going to be leaving messages on most lines, and that's totally okay. They will get the message, pun intended. Okay, and so if you go to this website, again, it's stopc9.ca, there is a link to the call list. And on this call list, there's a first to call list, and then there's a next to call list. It's okay if you call people more than once. So maybe you called some of these folks a few weeks back. Well, if they didn't call you back, you can call them again and say, hey, I still care about this. And by the way, some of the details have changed. And so you have different things to say. So you can call people a second or even third or fourth time, and it's okay. So it'll actually be powerful. So this is a starting point. The numbers on this page are the Liberal members of Parliament that were in the closest races in the last federal election. Most of these names here are going to, actually it didn't, sorry, I'm going to stop share here for a second because it didn't follow me there. I'm just going to stop share, see if I can get this up. Anyway, what I was saying is that most of the names on here, these are members of parliament. Let's see if it works this time. These are members of parliament that were, it's not working again. Don't know why it's not working. Well, hey, take that as a compliment. I always take these little glitches as a little bit of a compliment. Let me just try it one more time here. So the people on this call list takes a lot of skill to like talk and read websites. And let me see if this one works right here. There we go. Okay. So the people on this list, and so I'm going to go back here. Let's see if it tracks with me this time. Are you going to track with me this time? Let's see. Oh, there we go. Woohoo. Okay. It's working now. Thank you. Okay. So at stopc9.ca, you can click on this button here, get call list. And there is the first to call list. Then there's the second next to call list after you get through that. And so what I was just about to explain there as I was experiencing that little technical glitch is that these names are members of the Liberal caucus who were in the tightest races in the last federal election, mostly in the GTA, in the urban centers. We've got Atlantic Canadian members of parliament on here. These are the ones that if they have a massive outcry over the next 4 days and their phones just simply won't stop ringing, people are showing up at their offices as well. These are the ones that will be paying the most attention because these are the ones that understand that their job is on the line and that in the next federal election, if they really are offside on this one, it could cost them their seat in the next election. So I would just say, just trust it. Go with these names. Again, if you've already called these folks, you can call them again because for most people who are watching this, if you did call them, it was probably back in January, and you can definitely call them again. Once you get through that list, there are the rest of the members of the Liberal caucus here. You want to be asking them to ensure that their leader, Prime Minister Mark Carney, allows a free vote on this issue. You want to ask them to ensure that debate is not shut down and that every single member of parliament within parliamentary due process who wants to speak to this is given that opportunity to represent their constituents. There is a script as well right here that you can use. There are call scripts, and these scripts have been updated based on what's happening. So this is so easy. There's literally no excuse for anyone not to get involved with this. And it really will make a difference. I do want to say this. Sometimes people will say that, what difference does it make? Well, I look at it this way. If only one of us is doing this, well, maybe it won't make much of a difference. But if thousands of us or even hundreds of us are doing this, it absolutely will. And as a matter of fact, the only reason that C-9 is not law already is because of the people who stepped up, made those phone calls over the last several weeks. And if we can double or triple the load of the activity, who knows if we can hit our tipping point. I think we can. We are right now, as of last tally, there have been 66,511 phone calls that have been made. And if we can keep that going and get that up to 100,000 phone calls, I just wonder if that might be the tipping point. That might be enough. You might look at these numbers and think like, man, that's just a lot. The reality is it's not. If there were only about 450 of us that made this commitment to make 10 phone calls a day until the vote is done, if there were only about 450 of us that did this, that would mean that over 100,000 phone calls had been made. And I just wonder if that might be the tipping point. I think it may. So I want to encourage you again to share this with your friends, your like-minded loved ones. If you're watching this on my social media, I've put a personal post up in the last hour or so, actually with this graphic right here and my own words. And so you can share my post. You can do your own post. There's actually a flyer up here on this website as well. There's a black and white flyer. There is a color flyer that you can easily cut. It's been designed here in a way that you can easily cut it. There's also the replay from the briefing call that was done a few hours ago, earlier this afternoon. And so everything is right here. There is no reason, there's no excuse not to take action. It's been made so easy. And this will probably continue to be developed. Maybe there will be some more resources there by the morning as well. But once again, I just want to underline, star, asterisk, highlight the reality that we're facing right now. We have 4 to 6 days, most likely maximum, before this is voted on. C-9, the hate speech legislation, an act to amend the criminal code, hate speech, propaganda, hate crime, and access to religious or cultural spaces. Will be voted on by members of parliament in the House of Commons. If it passes, it will then go through the Senate, the Liberal-dominated Senate, who will most likely expedite it. And then at that point, the only way to overturn this is in the courts, which will be very costly and time-consuming. So it is much better if this is just simply stopped in the next 4 to 6 days. After Thursday or after Wednesday, I say just press on this. Make sure you're working the phones. Make sure you're making this moment matter. This time next week, we will not have this moment. We will not have this opportunity anymore. But on March the 12th, which is Thursday at noon, I expect thousands of Canadians will be joining under the leadership of ARPA Canada, who have organized a rally providentially. Isn't this incredible? They timed it right to the day. This will be the exact day, maybe within the exact time frame that our members of parliament will be voting on C-9 or deliberating over it. It will be really close. It'll be within 24 hours, if not at the exact time. And so want to encourage those of you that can get there for the rally to do that March the 12th at noon. But phone calls are critical. And again, this isn't a moment just to be concerned. This is a moment to be mobilized. And if I could just speak from my heart here for a second, because I've been at this for 30 years, y'all, 30 years. And one thing that I've noticed in these moments is that it's normally just the faithful few that show up and actually get skin in the game. And even those that do show up, sometimes, they show up for a few days and then maybe kind of turn their focus onto other things. But I just want to encourage every single one of us, and I'm including myself in this, that this is a moment not to be distracted. This is a moment to truly say, my skin in it matters. I don't want to be one of those individuals that's sitting up in the stands, wondering why the goaltender didn't do this and the defense didn't do that. I want to be one of the ones that's actually on the ice, actually playing the game. And in the moment that mattered, I want to be able to say that I showed up. And so if you're a person of faith, then I'm talking to you right now. We all understand that there will be that day, right? There will be that day when our lives are laid bare and it's all there to be seen. And everybody's going to know what was done in secret. Everybody's going to know, what happens in the secret moments of our lives. And that will also be the moment that we are given a reward, where the Lord will say to those who are faithful, well done, good and faithful servant. Great is your reward. And I don't know about you. I just want to be able to say that I was faithful, whether or not, however this goes, I just want to be able to say, on that day, I want to be able to say that I was faithful to show up and to do whatever I could. The word says this, and when it's in your power to do good and you don't, it is sin, right? That's a heavy, but it's actually in there. It's actually right here in this book that we love and we want to be able to read in public without being thrown in jail, right? So let's take this moment. Let's commit to 20 phone calls a day and tell the vote. Let's share it with our friends. If we can multiply ourselves, that will absolutely matter. If you can get there by plane, by bus, by car, go to stopc9.ca. There's a link to the ARPA rally website. You can click on that. They've got buses. They've got a whole bunch of stuff that's happening. They've got a rally schedule. They got some really cool people that are going to be speaking. Very, very cool. But I want to say this. If I had to pick, if I was you, and if I had to pick, I'd do both. But if I had to pick, I would do the phone calls, because the phone calls are when you're actually going to get eardrum time. It's where you're actually going to get that direct contact, which is the signal to them that this is politically important to their future and to their jobs if they're in a tight race. Okay. So that's the Saturday night update. If you have the ability to share this tomorrow with your friends and like-minded loved ones, please do. And please stay tuned at stopc9.ca. Please like this video. Please share. Please subscribe. Please comment. The more activity that we have around these communications, the higher they get prioritized in everybody's algorithms, so that more and more people get this word. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for caring. Thank you so much for getting involved. And thank you so much for valuing this information. As David Maines said to me so many years ago when we were standing on the steps of the Parliament, Fatine, the nation goes to those who show up. We've got 4 to 5 days. Let it be said of us that we showed up in the moment that matters. If not now, then when?